because the instrument sends a signal to the computer and handshakes to the software. Never turn that on first. Turn this on first. The switch is right here on the side. Okay. Now, this is the green light that it's going to be flashing until we turn the computer. This flashing green light means it hasn't established communication to the computer. All right. So then the next thing we do is we come to the computer, turn the computer. So the little flashing green light stopped. And then did you keep it at the default?
Default, no,
okay.
no
So the default is admin, ADMIN, and then the password is 3000 Hanover, HANOVER. And that brings us into the main screen. Okay, once we're in this main screen, the instrument there's two shortcuts to the software. This is the one that executes to the instrument. However, there's one over here that says MP Expert Demo. This is the version you can have on your laptop or desktop that if you want to bring files from this, you can recreate everything on your desktop. So you can put this, there's no conflict of licensing, that you can put this version on your personal computer, and then that gives you all the capability of viewing the data from a flash drive in the demo software. The demo software means that it doesn't look for an instrument, but it gives you that same look and feel of the software here. All right, and then we're going to double click on MP Expert, and it brings us up to the first page. Okay, so once it comes up to this first page, we're going to see three file commands: new, new from, and open. Okay. However, we want to look at the status of the instrument, and when it's flashing yellow, that means something's not correct yet. So we always want to come to the instrument status page and look at what's green and what's not green. All right. So we want to look at what the issue is, and what happens is the O2 sensor is sensing there's a whenever you turn the gases off at night, it'll backflow. So what you do is you say start purge. If this is something that is active, you click it, and then that turns green, that this area is fine, there's no problem. If this is grayed out, that means there's no issue with the O2 sensor and everything should be fine. All right. So now that we've established everything right now is in green zone, some things haven't established themselves yet, but we don't want to see anything yellow. We also want to make sure that our detector is around 0 degrees, and we're a little slightly under, which is good. The detector has to be cold because we want that solid state detector to be subambient. Yeah, I told yesterday in this presentation there's a device called a Peltier cooler. A Peltier cooler is like an electronic freezer. Mm-hmm. One side gets cold, the other side is hot, and then there's a heat fin that removes the heat from we pull heat from one side to the other side and keeps it very cold. So that's how it stays cold, is with the Peltier cooler. Okay. All right. So now that this is established, we will come over to the instrument, and what we want to do is we want to make sure we should, depending on when the last time you run it, you would either inspect the torch, make sure that there's no issue. We saw it yesterday. Same way with the pre-optics window. We saw yesterday that this isn't so bad. You shine a light on it, it's fairly clean. Okay. All right. We would also want to make sure that the air filter is clean. So this is what's filtering all the air that's going into the instrument. Remember, this instrument is air cooled, so it's very important that the airflow is not choked off.
There's a carbon filter.
Yeah. So this is what the filter should be: nice, gray, shiny. And then as it starts to get dirty, it's going to dull. This is in good shape. So you have 3 ways of cleaning it. You can either take this and vacuum it, with a shop vac. You can take it if you have like an air supply and blow air. Yeah, but the thing is, you want to blow it from the backside, but you don't want to rupture this. So you don't want it so much that it blasts it. Or you can take it to the sink with mild soap and water, but it has to dry overnight because you don't want to be sucking moisture into the instrument, because that's not good.
But if you use a vacuum a lot, it wouldn't take out some of the...
No, it's very porous. So a shop vac works really well. Okay. Now to put it back, you put it back this way. Okay. That's what that guide is for. Tilt it down on the back, and then snap it in. Make sure you're in that.
Yeah, see that.
Yeah. And then once you've taken it out a couple times, it's not as hard. All right.
Is there, so if it's ever clogged, is there any error that you see on the computer?
Yeah, it will give you a diagnostic that it's not able to cool down, because it takes that air to cool down everything inside. Okay, so it would be restrictive. All right, so now that we went through those, the last thing we want to do before we light it is to take the peristaltic pump tubing and stretch it into the cavity. So you take a look at it. There's 2 cavities. And there's these tabs. You want to make sure the tabs are facing up. Put it in the cavity. Put this one in the cavity with the tab up. You don't want to twist it. Okay. Same way down here. This one is in that one, and then we stretch it over to this one. Okay. All right. So now these could be off center, and if you feel inside here, we want them in the middle. We don't want them on the edge. The edges are sharp, all right, and you could damage them. So how we make sure that those are centered is we come over to the software, and where it says pump, go fast pump. This will make the pump go 80 RPM, and you saw how they self-align, okay? They went from the edges to the middle, so this way we know we're aligned, and then we just put the pressure plate on.
While it's going.
Yeah, and then we just turn it off. Okay, so now the system is ready to ignite, but we always want to make sure that it's in a liquid. We never want to run this unit dry. So before we light it, we put it in typically our rinse solution, which is nitric acid. Has some memory. This tubing comes curled up, and it has some memory effect to it. So, all right. So then, what we do is we come into. We can stay on that instrument page. Okay, and then we simply come to plasma on. Okay?
Where was that? Plasma.
Plasma on. Okay?
Or something.
Yeah, it goes through. And when you see the purple light on the glass, you know it's lit. See? Now it's lit. Okay? Plasma light is green. So everything is lit. Everything is green for the way you have this configured. You don't have the auto sampler. You don't have these 2 modules. You don't have the switching valve, and you don't have the isomist. So if you want to take, you took a picture of this.
Yes,
this is
absolutely.
exactly how your system will be when you light it with the green. Okay? And then now what we do is we just wait 20 minutes. It's running. You also want to look at the mist and you want to make sure that you don't have water droplets. And we have developed a little bit of water droplets on the inside, so we can go back to the coffee. We can go to fast pump. And then once the coffee comes in, we'll disperse those again.
That's one supply that's always around. It's coffee.
Yeah.
Never runs.
But that's what the effect of the Triton X 100 would do. It would be the same thing. You would put that in the rinse, and it will break those bubbles up to droplets, because it's the wetting agent that is breaking that down. It's also, too, the quality of your water. Once you get to the good, great water, this doesn't happen as much.
Must be a surface tension thing then?
Yeah, it is. Yep. And charge effects. So we have to wait 20 minutes. We'll just let that do its thing. By the time 20 minutes is done, that should be pretty much all done.
So we have to wait 20 minutes, right?
Yes.